I love you too, Mary. Okay, hi everyone. So today I'd like to talk about talking. More specifically, I'd like to talk about how learning public speaking improved my confidence and enriched my life at a time when I was struggling. So while I understand that what I'm doing right now probably seems intimidating and threatening to most of you, it became a tool for self-growth and acceptance when I discovered it 4 years ago. Entering high school, I struggled to maintain a healthy self-confidence and thrive socially. It was difficult for me to find a place where I felt comfortable and self-assured. See, I felt that my thought process and energy functioned at a different wavelength than other people, and I felt isolated as I struggled to express myself. What I needed at the time was a source of pride. I needed something to truly excel at so that I could be motivated to do more. But more than that, I needed a voice. I needed a way of expressing myself in a clear way to others so that I could truly be heard. Eventually found this voice through public speaking. After months of feeling alone and even depressed, I decided to learn public speaking because I knew that I had all of these strong thoughts and feelings, but I also knew that I had a lot to learn in order to communicate them to others. While I might have been able to predict a few of the ways this decision would change my life, I was totally unprepared for the full impact it would have. I remember the initial learning curve vividly. It was awkward, unclear, and unfocused, but I was also learning, and soon found that being able to stand in front of a crowd and share my opinions was a huge boost to my morale, as I was finally starting to find the voice I was searching for. I was starting to learn how to express myself, and improved confidence as I gained my abilities as a speaker. I remember this as one of the most revolutionary and momentous periods of my life. Perhaps more importantly, though, I discovered a community of others who shared my love for speech. You see, public speaking didn't just give me a voice, it also gave me access to a community of others who loved the same things that I did. Since then, many of the friendships and connections I've made in high school have been through the public speaking community. And while I didn't always agree with my peers, of course, I found that I could always connect with them based off of our similar attitudes and mutual love for speech. This also helped with some of the problems I was having in day-to-day interaction. See, I found that I improved at communicating and making sense of what others were saying. I found that I was also no longer as self-conscious or worried about myself or what I was doing when interacting with others. A year after I learned public speaking, or joined it, I decided to challenge myself a bit more competitively. This was most prominent in the public speaking competition that happened right here 2 years ago. Now, at the time, I viewed public speaking as similar to writing essays. I focused on having a formal structure and strict logical arguments. But when I was writing this particular speech, I found this technique restrictive, so I went for something new. I went for a looser structure and more conversational tone. I brought personal examples into the speech, and by the time the speech was done, I found the product I had was incredibly powerful. While winning that competition was obviously nice, what I really took out of it was that public speaking didn't just need to be a tool for arguing or persuading people. It could also be a tool for connecting with them emotionally. Since then, I've been involved in public speaking through numerous different ways. Early on, I joined the debate club here at Hamber, where I made many of the connections I mentioned earlier. I've also been involved in several competitions as both an individual and team speaker. As some of you may know, I now run the same debate club I joined. So I've gone from an awkward young orator just trying to find a voice and some confidence to helping dozens of others find their own voice. Okay, so the theme of today's talk is momentum, and I think that applies to my speech in two ways. The first is personal. It's how the energy I gained through public speaking spread to many other areas of my life in ways I would have never imagined. But the second, more relevant way that momentum applies to this speech is the purpose of the speech itself. So again, while I understand that public speaking obviously isn't for everybody, I would like everybody here to just take a second to think about what they're passionate about. What I'd really like is for everybody here to explore their own passions and what makes them feel like they have a voice. Hopefully, the momentum of this speech can be carried out in your own lives and how you choose to express yourselves. Thank you.